Listen up. I was listening to this Ashkenazi try to prove that he and his people are the people of God. They returned to the land of Palestine at the right time in the right years. It all adds up. Look what they're doing. They're turning a desert into an oasis and all this other stuff, right? And he's fighting and feuding with the British Hebrew Israelites. These British people that claim that they're Israelites, and he's going about showing them them and the Irish, their roots, and he's pointing out that there's no way that they could be, that they're, these nasty people and all this and other stuff. So, and even if they try to say they're like the tribe of Dan, he's pointing out that they're not, because they're these Fomoirians. So I just want to read this real quick because I thought this was interesting as I was looking it up. The Fomoirians were an ancient seafaring race. It is thought that they originally came from North Africa or Asia, as they are described as having dark hair and dark skin in the original accounts. So I thought about that too, and I thought about Sicily, in the whole thing with them, claiming that these Africans came out of Sicily and slept with the blonde-haired, blue-eyed men and women and turned them into the Sicilians we see today with the dark hair, right, and brown skin, tan skin. But what always threw me off was their flag. Their flag always depicts something, to me, I think is demonic. Some type of fallen angel stuff. Look at that. Looks like wings for ears, but they're upside down. And what's up with the legs? And look at the eyes. None of the eyes are consistent. I know you don't want to do this, but just bear with me. Look at this. Then look at that. Look like horns coming out of his head. Look at the snakes. There and there and there and all in their hair. And what's with the legs? Do you see what I'm saying? Now, if they have some type of black African in them, why isn't it showing up at least in their designs or drawings? I know this seems like a poor excuse, but I'm just saying, like, where's their African pride or some resemblance of it, or them trying to hide it? Then there was a conversation I had with a teacher of ours, and I was just telling him, I said, the whole Sicilian thing doesn't make any sense. And he said, don't fall for it. And I was like, what? He's like, yeah. He's like, don't fall for it. He's like, you've seen mulattoes, right? Yeah. Now they're on an island, right? Now think about this. If these black Africans came out of Africa and were sleeping with them and turning them into these black hair and brown skin, where's their Negro features? Their Negro nose, their hair, the lips. These mulatto children end up with Negro nose. They got thick lips, and in their hair, it just depends. Some are these thick afros, others are curly kind of shape. I'm just saying, like, you sit back and you can't show me an image of a Sicilian that looks like it's mixed with some type of African. There's a coworker of mine who's Irish, and her niece is mixed. Her mother was from America. Her dad was one of these jet black looking brothers from Africa, bald and everything. Still speaks with a deep African voice, and I just look at him, and his daughter came out nearly Caucasian. And now that she's been with this blonde-haired, blue-eyed dude, you can't even tell her children at all have any African heritage at all. But, I mean, you got to understand, it's the Y chromosome of the father, the man she, blonde-haired dude she slept with. But I was just saying, like, where's even the symbols? Where's even the resemblance? And then what's up with this? This looks so demonic, if you ask me. It doesn't look right. And I remember when my sister was teaching me about the Leviathan stuff that she was finding. There was these flags of these like 7 nations, and they had their shields all lined up and their flags all above them, and all of them were of these European style nations, and they didn't look like a normal, look at an African flag, those look like a normal nation. Look like the flags from Brazil or Mexico, that's something normal. These all had something to do with this on it. But getting back to the teacher, he said those weren't Africans that came out there and slept with the people in Sicily. That's what we fell for. I mean, you still don't believe me? Let me just go back and look at what's his name, Iron Eyes Cody, right? A Sicilian that passed for a Native American. He didn't pass for no Negro. He didn't pass for no mulatto. He passed for a Native American. And they try to say what? The Native American is a Chinese and a Negro that mixed. So how do you explain that? So I just thought it was interesting because, like I said, I mean, just look at the photo here, because that's what I'm talking about. That's what I think those Conan the Barbarian stories are all about. Because Conan the Barbarian is depicted looking like this dude, even though he's fictitious. And look at that tall fish dude from like off of what's the thing called? What's that thing called there? SpongeBob, right? Let's see. Let's see here. Like that character in the back there. Look at that. Oh, where are you? You see that? Look at that. Ha! And that looks like this little thing I've seen. I like to watch those videos, like what are the realest monsters that have been found or whatever. And like there was this like tall, gangly thing that went racing across the highway in London. They caught it on those nighttime cameras that watch the highway. Look at the pattern he has on that shield there. Look at that double. Look at that. It looks like some type of dog. But yeah, now I'm saying what I was told is this is what came out of Africa and slept with the blonde-haired, blue-eyed people.